Welcome back. And some developments in the Dr. MM Kalburgi murder case. The police apparently have not even released a sketch of the shooter, even though he was seen by the family. My colleague Srinivasan Jain now joins us on the phone line for more. Vasu, why is the police deliberately being slow in the investigations?
Well, at this stage, we can't surmise whether it's a deliberate act of apathy or whether this is just the standard inertia that we see a police force lapse into. But given that this is an extremely sensitive case and that there's a great deal of scrutiny on the investigations, it is surprising that almost 72 hours later, we don't have a sketch of the shooter. Because remember, according to the accounts given by Professor Kalburgi's family and in fact the police themselves in the FIR, Professor Kalburgi's wife had actually seen the shooter and had subsequently receded into another room when he fired the pistol at Professor Kalburgi and killed him. But yet no sketch has still emerged, which is surprising. Also, what is also extremely surprising is that when we spoke to the police, they tell us that they have so far not called in for questioning any of the extremist groups that held protests against Professor Kalburgi last year. Those protests actually had led to Professor Kalburgi being given security because some of those protesters had reached his doorstep and glass bottles were thrown at his house, and so he was provided briefly an armed guard for a period of 3 to 4 months. Now, it seems logical that the police would gather the information about who the protesters were, which were the organizations, and start questioning them. None of this, to our knowledge, has happened. What is perhaps adding to this sense of inertia or a lack of action is the fact that there have been a number of different protests that have been going on here in this Hubli-Dharwad region over a water dispute between Karnataka and Goa. And every single senior officer associated with this investigation has been on bandobast duty for the past 3 days, right during this sensitive period. We have ourselves personally gone and seen the head of the crime branch, who's supposed to supervise this investigation, on bandobast duty pretty much all of yesterday. So important time windows are being lost as the police continues to dither. Now, of course, the case has been handed over to the CID, who sort of took over the case from yesterday evening, and we'll have to see whether that makes any difference to the investigation. But remember, the first 48 to 72 hours in any investigation are crucial, and any lapse of time could severely damage the prospects of getting to the bottom of this. And one can only now wait to see whether there's going to be a shift in the attitude of the police, because at the moment it does seem to be an extremely shoddy job that is being done here for an investigation and a case of this magnitude.
All right, Vasu, thank you so much for joining us with those details.